Is that a trick question? This man was a bona fide scrub. Bona fide scrub.
This dude, I believe he's a bona fide superstar right now.
Right. Oh, well, of course, it's all about winning, baby.
Yeah. So why don't we start with the Nets and the Bucks? What a juicy game to start off the regular season. The reigning champions against the team that many thought, if they were fully healthy, would have won the championship last season. In Milwaukee, so it's the Brooklyn Nets at $1.94, the Bucks at $1.90. This is a 50-50 game with the bookies. Is this how you see it, Lee?
I do see it like this. The Giannis not being here is probably the biggest... Kyrie Irving not being here for the game is probably the biggest thing of this matchup. But I think the KD versus Giannis matchup is probably the thing I'm most excited about because thinking about this, I'm a LeBron fan saying this, they have the biggest case for best player in the world this year. And it's only the first game, but obviously people thought if the Nets weren't injured, they would be winning, and obviously the Bucks would want to prove that they won this legitimately. Giannis, I know I've seen flashes of his new jump shot, so I think their matchup, they'll be going at each other, trying to show that kind of stamp their approval on the teams there. So I'm incredibly excited. Do you have a favorite? Do you know who you want to win? Do you care who wins?
So I think Milwaukee will win, but I'm going to put this is one of my rules of betting this season, is that I'm not going to bet against Brooklyn when Kevin Durant and James Harden are on the floor and fully healthy and playing together.
Yeah.
Because when those two are on the floor, they can win any game against any opponent in any place at any time, to me. So even though if you had to put a gun to my head, I think Milwaukee win. And if you're leaning towards betting on the Bucks at $1.90 at home, then I'm not going to steer you away from it. It's just I'm not going to be betting on the head-to-head line in this market because, as I said, I'm going to have a steadfast rule that any game that Kevin Durant and James Harden are fully fit and playing, I'm just not going to bet against the Nets. It doesn't mean I'm going to bet for them and I think they're going to win. I'm not going to do that.
How much are you playing the fact that the Kyrie situation is, I guess, in the back of the mind? The fact that they know he's not going to be there and they can just focus purely on this. Do you think that's playing a big part in why you think they'll be clear and ready to go?
Yeah, I think they'll be clear and ready to go. I mean, I think if you ask any athlete, all that sort of outside distraction, I think once you get on the floor or you get on to the court or the ground, whatever sport you may be playing, I think that kind of goes to the back of the mind and you get on with the job at hand. But I'm more interested in a couple of player performance markets here. You just talked about the matchup between Giannis and KD. I mean, who is matching up to either? Are they going to be guarding each other? I don't think so. I just don't think they're going to do that. So who's going to be guarding each of those opposing players? Is Blake Griffin going to get the job against Giannis, who I thought Blake did a reasonable job early in the series, in that Eastern Conference semi-finals, but Giannis just got too much for him at the end of the day, and there's no harm in that. But is he going to go to Giannis? PJ Tucker, we know, is no longer there for the Bucks to guard KD. Not that it matters. Well, not that he did a whole lot. I mean, we kind of made fun of it a bit. The fact that he was known as being the KD stopper and KD was still dropping 47 or whatnot. So, I mean, who's going to guard KD? Is Giannis going to have a crack? I don't know. I just don't think that in the first game of the regular season that Giannis is going to guard KD and vice versa.
I reckon they will, just because I guess they're excited about both being there and they have so much to prove. Weirdly, both players have a lot to prove. So I think the adrenaline of the opening night, the rings, the storylines coming behind it, I certainly think that they'll be guarding one another. If I was to say who's the most pressure on, the Bucks or the Nets, I'm getting too excited for an opening night game, but who do you think has the most pressure on them to win?
I don't know. I don't think either team.
Really?
I mean, whoever loses, it's not disaster. Let's be honest. It's game 1 out of 82. Maybe the Bucks in front of a home crowd when I'm assuming they're going to be getting their championship ring and they'll have the banner raised. Like maybe therefore they've got more pressure just to perform, I guess, in that environment. But really, it doesn't really matter too much to me. So you think that both those players are going to guard each other? The total points line here is at 237.5, which is quite high.
Yeah, well,
but I'm just thinking these two teams are going to be two of the more high scoring teams in the league this season. Can we see that going overs? Can we see a 122, 120 kind of score line, kind of, the winning team's going to have to score 120 to win this game?
I reckon so, because the Bucks are like historic for the past few years in terms of how good their offense is, and when Harden and KD are on the court together. So I'd be very happy with that line. Do you reckon it's going to be under that?
No, I think, again, I'm probably not going to bet. If it was a couple less, I'd feel a bit more confident. If, again, put gun to my head, I'd take the overs there at $1.89 over 237.5. But I'm more interested, as I said, in the player performance markets. And you think they'll go head-to-head? I don't think so. I think this could be an absolute points fest for Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant. So just a little easy one for punters to get your NBA regular season started. If you just want to double your money, whatever your budget is, maybe $50, $100, maybe it's $10, $20 kind of thing. If you just want to easy double your money, I think Giannis to have 30-plus points and KD to have 25-plus points at $2.05. I think that's almost a lock. Is there a way that Giannis doesn't score 30? And we know KD just scores 25 in his sleep. Is there a way that doesn't happen to me? Because I just don't see who's guarding out. Remember, these two guys last time out both scored near on 50. Now, I know they played elevated minutes given it was the playoffs, but I just don't think anyone's stopping these guys, to be honest.
Well, they both score heavily on whenever they play up against each other as well. Yeah, you can't guard either of them. So I think that's $2 what?
$2.05 for that little two-leg multi, or if you want to back KD in a little bit more, you can have both players for 30 plus at $2.80 for a little bit more value, which I don't mind as well. But other than that, is there anything else you're looking forward to in this matchup?
No, I think it's covered pretty much all of it. I think it's just going to be a great matchup throughout the whole season. I reckon the storylines galore.